I think it makes it a lot different, especially when I got the job and did sort of research for the part. It was a very, this whole new world opened up to me. And I felt like one of the responsibilities that I had was to sort of educate myself about disability and what that's like and the accuracy of doing what I do on the show. But also, what amazes me is that when people learn that I'm not actually disabled, sometimes they say, oh, thank God you're not actually, which to me seems like an odd response, because would that be so horrible? And my hope is, and I've said this before a million times, but I really do hope that it's the kind of thing that people become accustomed to and it's not such a big deal.
Like soap operas, do people start treating you as doctors, Noah? Will somebody pass you on the street and look at you as a doctor?
I don't know if it's a convenient way of making an introduction or if they're actually serious, but I've met a few people who think that we've all had some form of medical training, at least.
To do what you're doing.
To do what we do, yeah.
We're going to start including phone calls. You're a big part of this program. Let's take one right now from Louisville, Kentucky. Hello.
All right.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Cheryl, and I'd like to ask a question from Anthony Edwards.
Go ahead.
My question is, of the things that you've learned on ER, is there anything that you've used in real life?
Yeah, actually. There's a thing called nursemaid's elbow that happens when you hold a kid's arm up, and in some kids, it kind of dislocates their elbow a little bit. And because we'd had that on the show, when it happened to my son, I was able to do it, where you rotate the wrist out and close it, and it stopped him from having pain, so I felt
very
good
cool.
about it.
Anybody else use anything? Eva?
Well, our favorite story is the first season of the show. Before we'd even started to do the show, we were all dressed in our doctor's outfits, and we're over at the smokehouse across the street eating. And his son Bailey was like a year old, not even a year old then. He was like gnawing on a French fry, and he started to gag on it. And Tony, you know, was handling it perfectly. He's a father, but there's 4 or 5 of us in doctor's outfits, and no one had seen the show yet, so they didn't know who we were. And we're all looking around going, somebody do something! And they're all looking at us like, you do something, idiot.
Table full of 6 doctors. Panic.
Have they made you feel welcome, Kelly?
Incredibly
Really?
welcome.
I mean, you don't have to baloney, you know, so you got the job.
I mean, I can't say enough about everyone here. The cast and the crew has been the finest I've ever worked with, and I've been doing this since I was 7, so that's saying a lot. I think that they're amazing. I know I look 12, but it's been so much fun, and I was so scared to come onto this show because I was a fan, and walking onto this set was scary and exciting, and everyone has made me feel incredibly welcome.
This is the 5th season. Right? The newest entry starts this Thursday, and TNT has all the reruns. How long is it going to run? How long are you committed to this show, Claudia?
I'm committed for another 3 seasons, including this one. So.
Well, let me get a break. We'll come right back and we'll find out how long, and we're going to get a lot of your phone calls. When we return, we're going to go to where the real action is. I'm dreading this a little. We'll take more of your calls, too, up the way.
A visit to the ER Trauma Room when we return with Larry King Meets ER, live on TNT.
For 97 years, GMC has designed trucks for people who drove them not because they were trendy, but because their lives depended on them. Heroes who measured a truck by its power and its determination. That heritage lives in the new Yukon Denali. A luxury SUV with a 255 horsepower V8. It meets the demands of professionals and the standards of history. The Yukon Denali by GMC.
This is my Puerto Rico. Come discover.
But a new beginning for another. Monday night at 7 on TNT. Return with Larry King Meets ER, live on TNT.
Welcome back. We're at Stage 11, Warner Brothers in Burbank, California. We're at the cast of ER. You want to know what it's like inside this most intense of all series? Come on inside the trauma room.
Hit and run, no witnesses.
Watch your airways.
No, you're building a fresh whole blood.
Check your BP and respiration. It's trauma room time.
Okay, on my count. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Come on, move. There we go. Come here, sweetheart. Come here. Just squeeze my hand, okay? Squeeze.
ER's trauma scenes are high octane, featuring dialogue that could put your tongue in traction.
Pulse ox is 89.
With this mass in his throat, we'd have to crike him. But I want these extraordinary measures if he has the DNR.
Cross-clamp the aorta.
Pinsky. What's Pinsky?
And rapid induction for set 3, IV push. Let's go.
Start 2 large bore IVs, saline, wide open. Tighten cross for 10 units. Give me 4 units of O negative down there. Stat.
Some of the treatments look shockingly real.
Clear. Clear.
Clear.
But the best props in the world would be nothing but set dressing without talented people to put them to use.
Watch this pulse.
All intubating. Give me a 7.5 EP tube, please.
We need a portable chest. 2 units in.
All right, I'm gonna need the tube.
Is he breathing?
Yeah, I need a C-collar and a backboard. No bowel sounds.
Can't wait for a CT.
Just don't let him die. We do this every day. He has a good chance.
There's drama in ER's trauma, and the performers who play it make it painfully believable. I tell you, this is eerie, but we're in one of the 2 trauma rooms at the emergency room at this fictitious in name-only hospital in Chicago. Acting in a room like this, do you have to get no other feeling that this person is real? I am a doctor.
Absolutely. In fact, you're standing in the head position. The doctor would stand at the head of the bed, or where
Like
Julianne
this?
is standing.
I'd be the doctor in this.
And then you would assess the patient, go through the ABCs of emergency medicine, airway, breathing, circulation, and say if he wasn't breathing, you'd pull that card in there. That's the intubation tray, which you see probably 3 or 4 times every show, which is where you put a tube down in someone's throat and artificially respirate them with an airbag.
And to be confident, you can't be frantic, right? So you have to be in control, because if you're frantic, they're going to get them more frantic.
Right. Now, if they're passed out, you can have a little frantic session, but...
Anything ever happen when you don't have dummies sitting here? You have
Actually,
All right, Eric, what did you do once?
We were in this it was a big, heavy-duty trauma.
Huge trauma.
And what did you do? There was a guy lying here, a real
An
person.
actor.
An actor.
An actor.
Yeah, and we were doing a procedure, and we have all these instruments with the clips, and they're variations of these with actual like pinpoints.
And they're real. It had very serious prongs.
And I was just like in the zone, just going, and I ended up accidentally like piercing his nipple.
I was up here bagging, and I heard this. We're laughing now. We're truly sorry we heard you. But
He's never been back, has he?
I think Sherry sewed a drape to a guy's head once.
She did.
That wasn't that was in the suture room.
Yeah. Sewed a drape?
Yeah, they had a laceration like on a guy's head, and they put a blue drape around it, and she was supposed to stitch up the latex laceration, and she went too far and actually started sewing the drape to this guy's head. They got up and they pulled the drape off.
You know, when you watch the choreography and you watch this show and all the movement, isn't it amazing there aren't more accidents?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You would think bang, people banging together. How about when you did the live show?
Actually, we rehearsed the live show like a play, and so we had 8 days of just rehearsals.
Yeah, that was
actually that was ironically the live show was probably one of the easier and
because she was treated like a play. All right, now this is the famed things everyone.
Yeah,
this is the defibrillator, right?
Yeah, the only piece of medical equipment that we all knew how to use before we started the show.
But actually, one time though, George shocked himself.
Wait a minute.
He was